Good morning, everyone. I'm Jamie Robe. Everybody gets the last name wrong, but it's very simple, Robe. And I'd like to introduce a couple people that are important to me here, Jay Paulson and Kim McDonald, who are going to help me with the song that I wrote about generosity. So we're going to call the song Generosity. Doesn't really have a name, but just going to say a couple words here. I did bring someone else. This is a picture of my great-great-great-great-grandfather, who was named James Theodore Robe. My real name is James Theodore Robe. And every generation there's a James Theodore Robe, and we have a son who's 23 now, and he's Jameson, we call him, but he's James Theodore Robe. So I didn't break the chain. But he was a Methodist preacher, so I brought this picture because I thought it would be cool to have him up on the little pulpit here for a minute. He was not a musician, I'm sure, because he was a Methodist writer. You know, he rode around in the 1830s out in the frontier. So he went from church to church and eventually had a real church, which I guess is still there. I haven't been there yet, but it said he was over 6 feet tall and he was rugged and strong, and he had strong convictions. So I have read a couple of his words and have some of his writings, and I think he would not be favorable about music. And he probably wouldn't be favorable about the UU church either, but my wife Kim and I started here like a year and a half ago or so, and we love the church. And one of the things that attracted me is the music. So I got kind of suckered in by a couple people like Bill and some other people that invited me to play along with them, and that meant a lot to me. I'm a computer engineer. I'm not a musician or anything, but I do like to write poetry, and I like to write songs and play all the time at home. But writing the song about generosity, and music especially, you know, when you give money in the little basket that goes around, or we give money to some, charity somewhere out in the world, you're giving, and it's important to give that way. But the difference is when you're doing something like music, it's interactive, and in the lyrics of the song, hopefully you can hear them and everything, but, I talk about how you can give but never know the other person you're giving to. You can give things and be generous in that way and never know the other person. You can also be the receiver or the taker of a gift and never know the giver. But when you're doing something like sharing music or a talent, like the people on the AV or the food or something where you've got interaction in a church especially, it's a two-way thing. And that, I think, is important to us. One thing I've learned with sharing also, you get to know the other people who are involved in the music. The Monday night thing, many of you know me from the Monday night music jam that we do every week from 7:30 to 9. Everyone's invited. But that's where I really bonded with people in this church. We're all in the same boat. I know these wonderful folks from the Monday night, and it's amazing. We'll have 20 to 25 people almost every week, and we get new people that come, but we have a core people that really, it's like the most important thing in my week. It really is. I look at it as part of the music ministry of the church. We have the wonderful choir. We have people that come in and perform and solos and people from outside. But the Monday night thing, if you ever, even if you don't sing or don't play an instrument, it doesn't matter. You can just come and sit and you can sing because no one can hear each other very well. But it's a great way to learn, about each other, because we also each get to pick a song, and you learn about each other from that, and we also ask some silly questions at the beginning, and we get to know each other that way. But last thing I want to say about sharing and music and things in the church. I have a friend that I talked to about this, and we came up with the concept of the realm of the uncomfortable. So when I go up there and I'm doing something, I am uncomfortable. I can tell you right now. playing here and doing this stuff pushes my envelope, and I know they're the same. So it makes me feel good because we're doing something we're growing in the process. And I know the choir, it's got to be, nerve-wracking sometimes to come up and sing in front of your friends and everything, but we don't have to be perfect. That's another thing that, some of you know Ross and Mary Beth who come to this church. Ross taught me something, the Japanese aesthetic called wabi-sabi, I think is how you say it, but it's imperfect, impermanent, and incomplete. So that's the way I want you to think about our music. It's just who we really are in real life, but I encourage you, if you ever want to do some kind of music thing, talk to Bill, because he's good at talking people into doing these things. But you can always talk to us, and you can always come on Monday night, and we can work out new things for the church. But anyway, hopefully James Theodore liked that okay, but thank you. We're going to do our song now.